and just levitate.
Okay guys, so welcome ulit sa ating YouTube channel. Ito na yung lesson 19 sa ating trigonometry. Ito yung double angle identities. Okay, so dito naman pag-usapan natin yung mga double angle mismo sa loob ng cosine, sine, then tangent. So again, sila lang yung double identities dito. Okay, kasi reasonable naman ako. Computable naman ako kung meron ka nakitang cosecant 2x, secant 2x, then cotangent 2x. So i-revise mo na lang yung formula using this. Okay, so we have cosine 2a is equal to cosine squared a minus sine squared a, or sine squared a. Then may other yung formula, so pwede pang ganito siya. So cosine 2a is also equivalent sa 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Also pwede rin itong maging 2 cosine squared a minus 1. Ayun yung mga other form na. So again, si cosine 2a is either sa tatlong yan. Okay, next, si cosine 2a is just 2 sine a cosine a. Si tangent 2a is just 2 tangent a, 2 tangent a, 1 minus tangent squared a. So example ba na itong mga to? Okay, so for example kunwari nakakita ka ng 2 sine 30 degrees tapos cosine 30 degrees. Okay, using yung identity natin, this is just equivalent sa sine 2 times 30 degrees, which is equal sa sine 60 degrees. Okay, yun yung application niya. Okay, doon naman sa cosine 2a, so kung mapapansin mo, kunyari meron akong cosine 30 degrees. Okay, so this is equivalent sa cosine ng 2 times 15 degrees. So application na nun, so this is cosine squared 15 degrees minus sine squared 15 degrees. Okay, so yun yung mga equivalent yung pwedeng gawin. Okay, so let's have example para ma-apply natin ang identity na yan. So again, para lang din siyang fundamental identities. Yung tinawag na sa kanya is double angle identities. So example, write sine 3s in terms of sine s. So meaning, dapat matanggal natin yung mga yung triple angle tapos yung double angle dyan. So actually, triple angle siya. So goal natin is tanggalin natin yung triple angle na yan. So using yung double angle identities. So kung obviously ang gagawin ko dito is ganito. Si sine 3s ay equivalent kay sine 2s plus s. Okay, then using yung sum and difference identity, so pwede tayong mag yung sine ng a plus b, so that is sin, cosine, then tama, then plus yun. So kung tama pagkakaalala ng sir, this is sine 2s, then cosine s plus cosine 2s tapos sine s. So ang goal kasi is dapat purely maging sine. So yung sine 2s, syempre ito lang application ng kanyang double angle identity. Sa cosine 2s, pwede natin kunin yung 1 minus sine 2 squared minus 1 minus 2 sine squared a. Kasi instead na kunin natin, ito na lang kasi purely sine na yun. Okay, so again, this is equivalent sa 2 sine s cosine s, okay, multiplied by cosine s, which is ito yun. Okay, so again, ito identity lang ng sine 2s plus this is 1 minus 2 sine squared s multiplied by sine s. Okay, then this is equivalent sa 2 sine s then cosine squared s plus multiply natin to, so distribute natin yung sine s. So this is 1 times sine s is sine s minus 2 sine cube of s. Okay, next is siyempre may cosine pa, may cosine squared. Since may identity tayo na cosine squared, this is 1 minus sine squared. So substitute natin yun. So that is 2 sine s multiplied by 1 minus sine squared of s. Okay, then plus sin S minus 2 sin cube of S. Then distribute natin to. This is equals to 2 sin S minus 2 sin cube of S. Then plus sin S minus 2 sin cube of S. So since puro sin na lang, simplify na natin yung mga like terms. So this is 4 sin S. Okay, minus 3 sin S kasi 2 plus 1 lang, then minus 4 sin cube of S. So therefore ito yung kanyang ito yung sin 3S in terms of sin S lang. Okay, so ganyan yung gagawin natin para ma-apply natin yung mga identity na yan. Okay, so for number 2, so find the values of 6 trigonometric function of theta if cosine 2 theta is equal to 4 over 5 and theta terminates in quadrant 2. So meaning nga sa quadrant 2 siya. Okay, so probably sa quadrant 2 si cosine is negative, si secant is negative, si sine is positive, si cosecant is positive, then si tangent saka si cotangent is both negative. Okay, so without using Pythagorean theorem, tapos yung way natin, gagamit lang tayo ng identity. So ang pinakamagandang gawin natin is hanapin natin si sine, si cosine, then using sine and cosine mahanap mo si cosecant saka si secant, tapos mahanap mo din si tangent saka si cotangent kasi nga ratio na lang sila, quotient na lang sila. Okay, so start with this. So note na si cosine 2 theta is equal sa 1 minus sin squared theta. So actually may multiplier pa to na 2 kasi sa identity that is 1 minus 2 sin theta, 1 minus 2 sin squared theta. So sorry, di ko nalagay yung 2 na yan. Okay, so note that yung cosine 2 theta is 4 over 5 equals 1 minus 2 sin squared theta. So at least naayos ko na ngayon. Okay, then transpose natin dun. So this is simply 4 over 5 minus 1 is equal to negative 2 sin squared theta. So this is negative 1 over 5 is equal to negative 2 sin squared theta. Then divide natin both side by negative 2. So that is simply positive. So magiging positive 1 over 10 is equal to sin squared theta. Tama. So kasi i-divide natin both side by negative 2. So nasa ilalim yung negative 2 doon. Kaya naging positive 1 over 10. Siyempre para makuha si sin, square root lang natin yan. So that is simply sin theta is equal to square root ng 1 over 10. Or simply, ito ay square root of 10 over 10. Using yung ating rationalization. Okay, so since meron tayong sin theta, so we are now ready to find the value of cosine theta. So paano naman hanapin yung value ng cosine theta? Si cosine squared theta is equal to 1 minus sin squared theta. So this is equivalent to 1 minus square root of 10 over 10 squared, which is equal to 1 minus 10 over 100, or which is 1 over 10. Tama. So since 1 over 10 yan, this is equivalent lang sa 9 over 10 kung tama ko ng pagkakakompute. That is cosine squared theta. Okay, then taking the square root both side, therefore cosine theta is just equivalent sa square root of 90 over 10. Kasi nga square root of 9 over 10 siya. Tama. So multiply by 10 na lang. So nirationalize kasi ganito dapat siya. Square root ng 9 over 10. So nag-apply na ako ng rationalization. Kaya nakita ko yun yung sagot. Okay, so dapat ganun na rin kayo kapamilyar dito. Kasi nga simple lang naman yung rationalization na ginagawa dito. So although ito yung gagamitin natin para mas madali yung computation. Okay, so next is tangent is obvious. Note that tangent theta is just sin theta over cosine theta. So that is equivalent sa cancel siyempre yung 10 saka 10. So that is square root of 10 over square root of 90. So this is just square root of 10 over square root of 90. Okay, so in just simple manner that is equal sa square root ng 10 over 90 or equivalent sa 1 over 9 or simply 1 over 3. Okay, ngayon check natin yung kanyang sign pala by the way. Since nasa quadrant to siya, si sine is positive, si cosine is negative. So ito ay negative. So therefore ito ay also negative. Kasi negative dito si sine, si cosine. Okay, so lagyan natin negative, negative. Okay, so negative 1, no, negative 1/3. Yun na lang. Okay, so ito yung isa. So obvious na lang, madali na mahanap si cosecant, si secant, saka si cotangent. Reciprocal na ito. So this is just cosecant. Theta is just square root of 10 over 1 or square root of 10 lang. Okay, next si secant. Theta is dito. So start tayo dito. This is negative square root of 10 over 3. Next si cotangent. Theta is just negative 3. Okay, so ito pa yung other na trigonometric function. Okay, next is given cosine theta is equal to 3 over 5 where theta is in quadrant 4, find the cosine 2 theta, sine 2 theta, and tangent 2 theta. So given lang yung cosine. So obviously kailangan talaga natin dito literal ng sine theta. Tama. So since identity tayo, gagamitin ko na lang yung identities na cosine squared is equal to 1 minus sine squared is equal to 1 minus cosine squared para mahanap yung sine theta. Kasi kailangan din natin ng tangent para mahanap ko lahat. Okay, so unahin ko muna yun. So sine squared theta is equal to 1 minus cosine squared theta. So this is equivalent sa 1 minus 3 over 5 squared. So this is equivalent sa or equal sa 1 over 9 over 25. Then that is, pag sinimplify, I think that is 16 over 25. So since may square doon, so therefore sine theta is just equal sa square root nito, which is 4 over 5. Ngayon, since nasa quadrant 4 siya, si sine doon is negative. Okay, so tandaan yan. So meron na akong value ng sine, then tangent theta is just equivalent sa negative 4 over 3. Okay, so may value na tayong dalawa. Okay, so next is we need to find the value of cosine 2 theta, sine 2 theta, and tangent 2 theta. So unahin ko na si cosine 2 theta. Si cosine 2 theta ay equivalent kay cosine squared theta minus sine squared theta. So that is equivalent sa cosine squared theta, that is equivalent sa 3 over 5. 3 over 5 square minus negative 4 over 5 square. So this is simply equal sa 9 over 5 minus 16, sorry, this is 25 minus 16 over 25. So obviously cosine 2 theta is equivalent sa negative 7 over 25. Okay, so buti na lang di ako masyado nalilito sa fraction. Okay, so sine 2 theta is just equivalent sa 2 sine theta cosine theta, and that is equivalent sa 2 times sine theta is negative 4 over 5, cosine theta is 3 over 5. So simply this is sine 2 theta is equivalent sa negative 12 times 2 is negative 24. So this is negative 24 over 25. Okay, lastly, si tangent 2 theta, sabi ng formula, si tangent 2 theta, applying yung double angle identity ng tangent, that is 2 tangent theta over 1 minus tangent squared theta. So since nasolve ko yung tangent, this is 2 times negative 4 over 3 over 1 minus negative 4 over 3 square. Okay, which is equivalent sa negative 8 over 3 all over 1 minus 16 over 9. Or simply, this is negative 8 over 3 multiplied by, that is 9 minus 16, negative 7. No, negative 7 over 9. Since negative 7 over 9, kasi i-reciprocal ko na, so magiging 9 over negative 7. Para dito, sa ilalim nito. Okay, kasi 9 minus 16 is negative 7 over 9 is negative 7 over 9. Then, na-reciprocate ko siya, kaya naging 9 over negative 7. So, obviously, this is equal sa 3 na lang yun. So, this is positive 24 over 7. So, ito yung value ng tangent to theta. Okay, so, positive daw siya dun. Okay, so, next application is, we need to prove or we need to show that 2 cosine 2 theta sine 2 theta is equal to cotangent A minus tangent A. So, obviously, since proving tayo, lalagay natin word na proof, tapos apply natin yung double angle identities. So, I think, mag-work tayo dun sa left side, kasi dun yung double angle identities para mas mapadali tayo. So, ito yung proof. Sorry. Nasagi. So, ito yung proof. So, consider natin kasi ko lang nalaglag kasi, consider si 2 cosine theta 2 cosine 2a over sine 2a. Okay, so obvious kasi is kailangan maging cotangent saka tangent. So probably that magkaroon ng cosine minus sine dyan, cosine over sine saka sine over cosine. Okay, so ang gagawin ko na lang is apply ko yung mismong identities nila, yung original. This is 2 times cosine squared A minus sine squared A. Okay, all over. This is 2 sine A cosine A. So obviously cancel si 2. Okay, next is bibiyakin ko yan in such case na ganito yung mangyari. This is cosine squared A over sine A cosine A. Okay, then minus sine squared A over sine A cosine A. Okay, so cancel dito yung cosine, cancel dito yung sine. So this is equivalent sa cosine A over sine A minus sine A over cosine A, which is equivalent sa cotangent A minus tangent A. So therefore, this is done kasi nakuha ko yung goal ko. So ngayon, kung napapansin nyo, ako kasi rekta na lang, no? Kung pag tinitingnan ko, hindi ko na yun kung pag tingin ko pa lang, nakikita ko na yung possible way na solution. So sa paano yun, ang technique lang is just practice. Kasi ako second year high school, actually second year college pa lang, parang memorize ko na siya in such case na parang pag nakita ko siya, ganito na agad siya, tapos mabilis na siya naglalaro sa isip ko kung paano i-solve or paano i-prove or paano i-reduce. So dapat kayo ganun din. So ang technique is sa puso, ganun lang. Okay, so next for number 5, so prove that cosine 2y is equal to 2 secant squared y over secant squared y. So in this case, obvious na mas complicated tong part na to kasi parang ang hirap itong dalhin papunta dyan. Nagkaroon pa ng denominator. So kasi meron lang dito puro numerator, pure whole number siya, tama, in identities niya. Tapos may cosine 2y is puro ganyan lang. Kumbaga parang ang complicated kung ganun yung gagawin natin. So ang gagawin na lang ni sir is just mag-work ako dun sa right side, baka mapunta tayo dyan. Okay, so check natin. To improve. Okay, so let us consider si right hand side, which is 2 minus secant squared y over secant squared y. Okay, so ang gagawin na sir is hahatiin ko siya. So in such a case na ganito siya, 2 secant squared y minus secant squared y over secant squared y. Okay, then ang obvious, this is 1, then this is 2 times, pakita ko lang, 1 over secant squared y minus 1. Note that 1 over secant is cosine. Tama, since secant squared siya, so that is cosine squared. So this is equivalent sa 2 cosine squared y minus 1. Okay, next is may identity tayo niyan. Sabi, yung 2 cosine squared a minus 1 is cosine 2a din. So meaning, this is just equivalent lang sa cosine 2y. Okay, so therefore that is done. Okay, so ganun kadali pag double identity. Now, hoping naman out ko ulit sa ating next lesson, kasi next lesson is all about half angle identity. So what if naman is kalahatiin naman natin yung angle. Okay, so thank you for watching.